Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Richard's Film Snap, a bit of must-know film photography wisdom in 2 minutes or less. We'll be done in a snap. Exposure is everything when it comes to film photography. Light is how you capture an image on film in the first place, and how much light you capture has the biggest effect out of any variable on how your final images appear. That's why being able to read your negatives and understanding the influence of exposure is so important. So, let's take a closer look at those negatives. The appearance of your negative is referred to as density, literally how transparent or opaque the exposed image is. The dark areas of your negative are actually the light areas in your final image, and vice versa. And the denser your negative is, the more light that hit it. An ideal density for a negative will have a good amount of detail in the highlights, or the dark areas of the negative, and the shadows, the light areas of the negative. The more detail you have throughout the image, the more flexibility the lab has in the scanning process to give you the results you're looking for. An overexposed negative will look dark. For some photographers, minor amounts of overexposure can be an intentional stylistic decision that increases saturation and contrast. But extreme overexposure will give you an increased grain, low contrast, and dull gray highlights. That's because in an effort to preserve the midtones and avoid a blown-out image, the lab has to reduce the overall lightness of the scanned image. An underexposed negative will look transparent because not much light hit the film while shooting it. And that means there isn't much information for a scanning machine to interpret. Underexposure will reduce the overall brightness and color vibrancy in your image. When taken to the extreme, underexposed images are very dark, very grainy, low contrast, and have muddy-looking color shifts. And that's what you need to know to understand how your exposed negative creates the look of your final image. Wasn't that a snap?